Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am a big Ahsoka fan. If you follow my channel, you know that in the past few months I already built a few Lego MOCs with Ahsoka, but now that the show is finally out, the new TV series on Disney+, I decided that I have to build some very simple and easy to build vignette with Ahsoka. Here we have a Ahsoka minifigure. It's not the new one, I haven't get that one yet, but this is gonna be good enough for the scene that I'm building today. So we are gonna start from the first scene, very simple 16 by 16 base with a black frame. Here we are building a scene from the first episode. There's not much spoiler here, so you can watch this video with no problem. So at the beginning of episode 1, she's going to the planet of Arcana looking for a map. And this is the scene that I'm gonna be representing. As you can see, I already built a few bricks here that are mostly helping me to keep this sideways structure in place. So most of the floor has been built sideways. I have a few more of this block over here. I didn't remove all the other ones because for this part at the center, actually in the show there is a round kind of design that it was a bit hard to recreate with the pieces that I have. So I just took two arch pieces and a few cheese loops and just stuck them in there, with creating a little bit of an interesting pattern so that it also give a little bit of an idea of a round shape. Here is where we will connect Ahsoka, and now we can build up a little bit outside. So in this scene there is a lot of like dark gray sand that is going a little bit over this area. So this is what I tried to recreate a little bit everywhere all around this center stage. So a lot of wedge plates and so on. And now the main scene is settled. Now, all around this scene, in the show, there is some kind of curved wall, stone wall. So I decided to use these inch plates with some masonry brick. These are all pretty simple and available for most people pieces. Over here I have some grill pieces, but if you don't have grill pieces, you could use arches or regular slopes, like this one for example. So this is going to connect here on the side of the frame and then attach to this stud over here. So everything is connected. I don't have to worry much about moving this around. Same thing I built on the other side, of course with a slightly different pattern and ups and down in the build. So this is going to connect again on the side and then over here. So now we have created the stage on which we are going to add Ahsoka, and maybe we can start right with that. Actually, I can add a little extra structure over here that I built to give a little bit more interesting pattern there. Now, for Ahsoka, I need to remove one leg because I want to position like if she's sort of kneeling down on one leg. So this leg is going to be there in the center. And now I'm going to push this back and I'm going to connect the lightsaber. These are a little bit interesting, if you can see. In the show, she have a sort of white lightsaber. I don't have any trans clear white pieces. I don't know even if they exist. But in this scene, she's basically cutting through the floor. So this is what I want to recreate. So I want to have this horn going into the studs over there in a way that I can create like if the lightsaber is cutting through the floor, and then I can just tilt her a little bit forward so that it looks like she's kneeling down and cutting through the floor. I think it actually works really well. Now we just need to finish this scene very quickly, adding a little bit of details in the background. So very simple, straightforward. I'm gonna add a couple of columns, a thick one with this 2x2 that is gonna just connect here at the back like this, and another smaller one here on this side. Now in the show we also have a column that is like folding diagonally in this way. So again, some different kind of bricks connect here with some modified plates. I'm gonna connect it here at the back, and this is gonna be at an angle. So now the scene is complete, and I think it looks pretty interesting. Of course, the scale is not right compared to Ahsoka. All these walls and this column should be way bigger. But for a 16 by 16 vignette, I have to say I'm really happy with this scene from episode 1. Now let's move from episode 1 to episode 2. There is a very cool scene where Ahsoka jump off. They are in Corellia and she's jumping to chase a ship through a window. So here I create a A much smaller scene, half of that actually, again with a black frame on the side. Here you can see I already have some transclear pieces, so these are pieces of the window glass that are falling at the front. Over here, I could have just used something like this, these dark red slopes, but because I didn't want those studs coming off, then I decided to use these hinges with some tiles on top and a little bit of interesting details on the side just to finish off the scene. This control room should actually get quite big and there should be a few casualty and stuff like that, but we are gonna build this scene only here at the center. Here we have another support at the back, so I can get a little bit more broken pieces of this glass window. Now let's flip it over. I need to add a little bit of supports on the side over here because this window has a kind of diagonal shape on the side. So what I created is this structure, again in dark red. I'm just gonna connect it on one stud there, and then these supports on the side, they just tell me to keep these in line. Same thing on the other side, so this is gonna be tilted in the other direction, and from the anti-stud of this plate, again I have these bricks and plates coming off to create the effect of the broken window. Now over here we can start by adding Ahsoka. Now I'm gonna need to take the same minifigure. Actually I'm not gonna use it all, I just need the hilt of the lightsaber, and of course I need the recognizable hair of Ahsoka. So for this one I'm using a Thor minifigure that you can see I used the technique before in some of my mocks. So basically I have an elastic band, Lego elastic band running through the torso so that I can connect the arms open on the side. So now we can add this lightsaber completed. Again, it's not the right color for this scene, but this is the only one that I have available in my collection, so we will make it work. We are going to connect one lightsaber on the side, one on the left, adjust a little bit, add Ahsoka and the hair. So she's jumping off the window. Over here you can see I have a brick to which I can connect the minifigure, and now it's looking like she's jumping off the window, breaking the glass with the lightsaber. I think it's a pretty good effect and it works fairly well in relation to the scene if you have watched it. For the top, I did something a little bit unconventional. So I'm using these parts that I got from the botanical collection. I added a support underneath so I can have a structure, and another one on the right. So again, on the top, we have some broken pieces of glass coming down. Now, because of this, I cannot actually find a way to connect this to this side. So basically, it's just sitting in there. I added some plates to give a little bit of support, but of course, this one cannot be moved around much. You can see it fall down pretty easily, but if it's just for display, it works fairly okay. Anyway, I wanted to create something very easy to do so that I can put two scenes for both episodes in this video. Now, I added one more details. I wanted to have a little bit of force perspective at the back. So here I created a sort of little micro scale background of Corellia, to which I also added this micro scale build of the ship that is actually carrying the hyperdrive from the scene. Not gonna say more than that if you haven't watched the show yet. So this is gonna be connecting over here like that and like this. So this one is not very important, so this is gonna be at the back there. So when we look at this from the right perspective, we should be able to see Ahsoka jumping off the window with Corellia in the background and the hyperdrive ship flying away. So these were the two vignettes that I created from episode 1 and from episode 2. Of course, this one now is Ahsoka-less. I hope I will be able to build some more vignettes also from the following episode. And if you like Ahsoka scene, I highly recommend you to go and check out this one, which is the scene in which Ahsoka is together with Luke Skywalker while training Grogu. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Ciao, ciao!